Hi, this is Carla Michelle, and it's great to have you here at the Strong Woman's Network podcast. So happy that you decided to hit play and hear what is going on. Let's see, this episode, we're calling it Write It Down and Make It Plain so you could run with it. Yes. How many of you are into writing things down as a visual and to have the opportunity to track when things are able to be checked off or completed or begun or something happens towards it that takes you to the next area, the next arena. And it's going to be great this episode because I've seen something that I've seen before, but I just want to talk a little bit about it and share it with you. If this is your first time pushing play at the Strong Women's Network podcast, please join me and others and subscribe and send a review. I love 5 stars, and it would be great to have you as part of the Strong Women's Network podcast. Also, if you are on Instagram, please follow me at Miss MS Carla Michelle, MSCarla Michelle. It'd be great to have you there. I do Monday Minutes and inspirational, motivational, empowerment type of content and quotes. And hey, I even have free Fridays with free coaching. So stay tuned. All right, write it down, make it plain so you can run with it. So I have this folder that I happen to be run into as I was looking for something else. But I noticed I flipped open the front folder, the front page, and I have a piece of paper clipped, that has 5 areas that I was focusing on this year of what I wanted to pay off. Different things, insurance, car insurance, you can make your monthly payment, but I like to just pay it off. And credit cards, different things that I have charged done or got something for business or something for the kids, things like that. And then the car, my children's car, I was really focusing on paying that off this year. And I had noticed, when I was making payments, I do want to drop this nugget, is when I would make 2 payments within the same month. And you're like, what? Yes, 2 payments within the same month. One, I would also split the payment. So say the payment was $150. Well, I would do $75 because let's go back. This is when I was getting paid every 2 weeks. Now I get paid when I get paid. So every 2 weeks, I would take that and I would split payment so that, hey, I was a single mom, 4 kids, and I didn't want to just take my checks and pay everything. I wanted to have it to where I'd have at least half of my check left after bills. And so I would split the bills between the 2 checks. So either I'm paying it early or right on time, but they were getting 2 payments. So $150, they would get $75 at this time of the month and another $75. But what I was finding is that the first $75 would cover whatever interest and some of the principal. And then the last $75 would go just towards the principal. So it's like my interest, what I was paying towards my principal was higher than if I would have just sent them the $150 as a whole. Interesting. I don't know how that works, but it was working. And so I started doing that in a lot of different things, is where I would split the payments. And a lot of companies would push back and say, hey, you still owe us, blah, blah. I already knew what I was doing. And I would just pay it. I just let them catch up with me. So that's how life is. Let them catch up with you. They're not running the show. We're running the show. But, I did that and I saw just the amount due, the balance just really quickly, really start making a dent on it. So that's a little pointer there. But over time, so I'm saying write it down, make it plain. I don't know how many of you have written down This is the last day of July. August begins tomorrow of 2020. And we have a few more months left in the year, good amount of months left. And my goals, I don't know how your goals are, is to get a lot of stuff paid off because I don't like credit card debt. I know how to use credit cards. I didn't always know how to use credit cards, but I know how to use credit cards now for me. They work for me, not against me. But I know I've shared, I think on another podcast, I did a lot of self improvement, and I don't mean surgeries. I mean self development in the sense of classes that I attended, the coaches that I work with. That was stuff that was on my credit card. That was stuff to help me grow, help me and personally grow, and also assist me in growth as a coach. And that's how I chose to use my credit card. There was a moment of how am I going to pay this off? But there was opportunity that I wanted to take, and it was the largest investment that I ever made towards, other than school, academia. This was one of the biggest investments that I made in myself. And those of you who are business owners, entrepreneurs, and you want people to invest in your product or your services, I have found that my expectation of myself should match the expectations that I have for others. And what I mean by that is if I want them to invest in one of my programs at the value level that I have my programs, I should be willing to invest in myself attending programs with a value level that stretches me. Because I know I stretch my clients when they work with me. I know there's many that, don't work with me because of the investment that is needed to be in the programs that are offered. But I know because I was willing to invest and I was willing to look for a return. I don't just invest haphazardly in what I do. It's investing with intentions. It's investing with a return. It's investing with seeing the outcome be different than we could ever think or imagine. That's how I invest. I think like this is taking me somewhere else that I'm the place where I am not right now. That's what I'm looking forward to. And because money is energy, and energy, if you're using it or not, or how you use it is important. If you sit on it, then the energy cannot do what it needs to do. It's like withholding the sun and darkening the sun and still expect to be warm and still expect to see growth in the world and still expecting whatever the sun brings, the vitamin D, the much needed nutrients for the world and for ourselves. So if you see money as energy and you're sitting on it, you're holding it. I'm not saying you don't save. I'm not saying that. I'm saying your mindset. When your mindset is stuck and you're stuck with just enough and you're sitting on it, you're not even enjoying, the way you want to enjoy it, and yet you have it and you're sitting on it and you're waiting for that rainy day, and then the rainy day comes or whatever, you may have a rainy day, you may not. I'm not knocking savings, so get me on that, but I'm saying the energy, the mindset behind it. What is your money mindset? How are you thinking about what you do? How are you thinking about how you handle the money? And does it work for you or is it working against you? Is your credit card, if we're scared to use credit cards, and is it because, well, we shouldn't be scared of anything. And you should not let what you fear chase you down, and you should not let it haunt you. You need to turn around and face it. And if there's a fear of using credit cards, you have to ask why, because you don't trust yourself that you'll make the payment. Because in the past, this is what happened, and you just kind of didn't look at it and let it go, get behind, and then it became just a total wreck, and then your credit score was messed up. What is your money mindset, and why are you running from it? And what happens when you face what you need to face when it comes to money? Things open up. Things open up. I'm telling you, the way that my credit score used to look, I would never imagine how my credit score, never imagine the way my credit score looks now, in the sense of the strength that it has behind it, what it affords me. I'm shocked when they pull it sometimes, and it's just wonderful. And, one income. I mean, it's just wonderful. Pat on the back of work that I've done to not be scared to live and to use money in a way. Am I perfect? No, because I still got to remind myself. But there's to use money in a way that takes me to the arenas and the areas of life that I want to abide in. Okay, so I have this list of things I wanted to pay off. And some of them are some big ticket items, because I said I did some investment into myself and my personal development. And personal development is not, well, for some, hey, you just, anyway, it doesn't matter. But I did some investing and definitely had a return in my life, and also had a return in the ability of paying it off. And the funny thing is that it didn't happen, the payoff didn't happen from me doubling down and pushing all my programs. And I mean, some of you guys listen to me, you don't even know I have coaching programs. That could be bad on me, but that's telling you that that's not my push. That's not my, I need to pay these credit cards off. I need to sell 25 people to get in my program, and the blah, 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 blah. Some of the ways that we're taught in books, and you hear some people say that. But mine is simply trust in God. Trust, yes, in working with clients, my ideal clients, yes, but also writing it down, making intentional conversation about where I want to be and where I want to go when it comes to paying off what I want to pay off, but also just being open to the way it's going to be paid off. I've been propagating. If any of you guys know, we're been at home a lot, so some of us have just purchased plants. So I am one of those. And propagating is when you cut off part of the plant and you place it in water. So I was doing that with my prayer plant. And I put it in water, and I just set it in there so nicely where I had cut off, and I was like waiting for the root to come from the point where I had cut it from the whole plant. So in a couple of days, I looked, and there was a root. There was a root coming out of the plant. However, it was not where I thought it was going to be coming out, or I thought. It was actually coming from another area. And so just like that, we can focus on where we think where money's going to come from, and we can focus on it. I'm telling you, I looked nowhere else on this plant but that spot for roots to come out. In fact, it took a while for me to even see the roots because I was so busy looking at that one spot. So how many of you are so focused on one avenue of how your finances or what you need are coming in, whether it's finances, relationship, business opportunities, promotion, a peace of mind, whatever it is, how you think it's going to come, and you're missing it because you're focused on the wrong thing. So With that, I encourage you to surrender to the way in any way that it decides to come to you. Just right now, just say, I surrender. I surrender to the plan, the purpose, and the way that the good things I want in my life are going to come to me. I surrender. I can't control it. I don't want to control it. I want to give up control. And I allow right now that the way it should come, I am okay. And how it comes, when it comes, I'm ready. All right. So when you look at it as it's not just through this job, the 9 to 5, it's not just through this promotion. It's not through this. It's not through just that. Not just that. I'm not saying it can't come that way, but when you have just a very one mind focus, you miss. A mindset that is fixed misses out on a when a growth mindset is there, or when the open mindset is there, you open yourself up to many more opportunities, and then it relieves more frustration from your life because you're just not looking at it from one way. You're open, and it helps you go out in your day and look with a different view. So back to my list. So I would like to say that I actually brought tears to my eyes. I looked at this list. I don't think, let's see, I have not opened this folder since probably April, okay, I'm going to say June. I don't remember that. Maybe June. So it's been a month. So anyway, in the time that I've opened this folder, just because I didn't open it doesn't mean I wasn't working on stuff. I have paid off zero balance all five of the items that I had placed as a goal to have paid off by the end of the year. And two just recently paid off I'm trying to think. I think they all paid off in June, July. So write it down. Where's your goals? What is it that you want? If it's financial things that you want to see be different, and I'm going to say this, I don't laugh, but you're going to laugh. Write it down, make it plain. Even when it comes to someone you want to date, or better yet, marry one day, write it down. There's so many times where we talk about, if we're dating, how terrible the date is. I had to stop myself. I had to start taking things, and this came to me. Why don't you start focusing on the good in the dates instead of he did this, that was that, and really go on. The reason why we do that is because we've got this list of things that we expect our dates to fulfill in 2 hours? And come on. Well, some of us, we know they're not going to fulfill, but yet I had to change even how I dated. My dating had to go into what's the good that's going to come out? What am I going to learn about myself? It's not so much about the person I'm dating as much it is about how do I feel with this person? What is my hang-ups? Why don't I like that? Where did I get that from? Why am I acting that way? Why are my expectations like this? Confirm it, verify it. And then if it's not working for you, get rid of it. But if it is, keep it. And you date I called it research. I know I was doing research for a while. But when you do research, you're gathering information. You're gathering information so you can make your case. And that's kind of how I view dating as a little research. And I don't want to seem cold because it's not that. It's just, I think if we go in there, we're always, you could be looking for love, and which is nothing wrong with that. But you're looking for love, but you're missing what are you needing to learn from this connection or this person. What do you need to learn about yourself? Especially if you've been married before and you're carrying in that trash with you that you've had from your other relationships, and you're judging that person based on your past and not giving them the opportunity to show themselves for who they are, and for you to be legitimately you before you were hurt and disappointed and all the stuff, the negative that you felt and that you're bringing to the table. So there's time to just get to know yourself and get to know how you are with personalities and events and things that happen. And that's a whole nother episode of dating. However, write it down. What's the good on all the dates you've been on and the good that you may have had in a former relationship or your former marriage? What was the good that you enjoyed? And write those things down. Write the good down, and that's what you focus on. That's what you're looking for. Someone who loves to spend quality time and have quality conversation. That, for me, that loves God and, not too deep, but yet loves God, and those qualities, thoughtfulness, romantic. What is the qualities that you like about the person or the people? Or even someone you watch on TV. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, that's one of the qualities I would like. I mean, sincere, not just because you're trying to, sincere qualities. And then not just write down their qualities. What qualities do you want to bring to the table? We always talk about they got to meet this and this and this and this. What are you going to meet? What are you going to bring to the table? How are you going to act when you get that person with those qualities? Okay, write it down, make it plain with all areas of your life, and watch it. I tell you, I go back and I read my journal from 5 months ago, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and I am seeing things just check off because I'm writing it down and I made it very plain. And now, I'm running with it and I'm looking for it, and it's happening. It is happening. I am so happy to be in a position that I dreamed and hoped and focused on being months ago, that I am there now. Yes. All right. Write it down, make it plain. Your children, write it down, make it plain. I'm telling you, my kids, I have paragraphs of the wants. I wouldn't say expectation, the wants that I have for them that line up with what they want for themselves. And I've seen it come to pass. Oh yeah. Yes, I have. So write it down, make it plain. Write it down, make it plain so you can run with it. Write it down, make it plain so you can run with it. Be open to how it comes to you. Don't try to pigeonhole it. Do not remain insular to where you cannot make space for it coming in crazy ways. Crazy ways. And to make way for it to happen suddenly, to make way for it to happen sweatlessly, that it's not about the grind and the hustle, it's about the receiving and the believing. All right, they work together. I'm going to stop there. This is Carla Michelle. Thank you for listening to this episode on writing it down and making it plain so you can run with it. If you haven't, subscribe, give a 5-star review. I love you. And until next time, I'll see you. Take care.